Hi guys, it's Uno Gear, and I'm back here at Mud Lake. Decided to take a little hike this morning and see if I could get up Pump House Hill and get back there and see where they routed the first section of this Northville Placid trail through the woods here, headed up to Benson. What I found out so far is pretty interesting. What I found out is they didn't use any of the existing tote roads hardly. They came up over through the woods and just did a long series of switchbacks back and forth for 1 3/4 miles before they finally hit the Tin Can Road, which runs along the north side of Mud Lake here. And I decided to sit down here on this nice flat rock, take a little rest, and eat a little lunch, and then decide whether I'm going any farther or not. I'd like to keep going until I get to the end of what they said they built this spring, which should be right down somewhere near where I went on my last hike up here, right to the top of the valley before you head down into the West Stony Creek river basin there. So we're going to eat a little lunch, sit here, drink a little water, and contemplate our surroundings for a little while, and then we're going to push on and see if we can get to the end of the trail here. Let me give you a look at what's going on here in front of me. I can tell you that there is a lot more water in this thing this year than there was the last time I was here. This thing is full. Last time I was here there was just a little puddle up at this end, but all this down where I just showed you, none of that had any water in it hardly. And you can see it's a gorgeous day, and that looks like a brand new beaver house across there, all the way across the water, and it looks like there's another one down there, and there's another one here, but I don't know, this one doesn't look too new, but looks like our friends the beavers have been in here making some new homes and making a new lake for us here. So I'll check in with you again, maybe when I get going down the new part of the trail over there on the way out. Maybe I'll make another little movie so you can see part of that. Did a beautiful job building the trail. So far so good. So I'll talk to you in a little while. Well folks, this is Uno Gear again, and we are at the proverbial end of the trail. This is where the Adirondack Mountain Club professional trail crew quit for the year. Right at this little creek. Not sure, this is the outlet of Mud Lake, I think. It's either that or it's Tripoli Creek, one or the other. I think it's the outlet of Mud Lake. But this is as far as the trail goes, and from here I'm going to turn around and head back to the car. So, see if I can figure out how far it is to the end of the trail here. 3.47 miles is what I've walked to get to the end of the trail here. So that's what I got to do to go back. It came down quite a ways to get down here to where this creek is. So first thing I got to do is get back up to the same level as Mud Lake. Then I'm going to have to skirt Mud Lake again, and then head down the hill from the other end of Mud Lake, which shouldn't be a bad walk at all. It's all downhill, so it's been a pretty good day. Can't complain. I got to where I said I was going, so that's a major accomplishment. Got to the end of the trail, so give you a look around the woods here before I shut the camera down, and then maybe a little later, if I'm heading down the hill out of the trail, the new trail part up there, well, it's all new trail, so probably when I'm going downhill, it might be a little easier to take a little movie or take some pictures and show you where I'm headed. So, looking right across from us here, there's the last marker on this side of the creek, and there's 2 on that side of the creek. So I imagine that's where we're headed, right out through there somewhere to keep right on going. So you could follow this creek on down here till you get to the river. It seems to be pretty flat right in here. I know last time I walked around and walked down the outlet of Mud Lake, I got up here on the top of the hill and so steep I couldn't get down around there, so I quit. Said to heck with it. Couldn't get down as far, so the trail that they built skirts all that real steep part, comes around, ends up down here at the creek again. So now John DeSantis said that when they got done doing this, that they might just go ahead and make a taped trail on down to the river, which might be what all this orange tape is here, so that if people wanted to bushwhack from here on down to the river, they could get down to the river. Can't be very far down there. This stream is running pretty full here for compared to what it was the last time. It's making a lot of noise. When I come down around the edge of the mountain here, I almost convinced myself that I was going to end up at the river. I thought that's where I was headed. I said, these sneaky sons of guns build a trail all the way down to the river. But they didn't. They just came back here to the creek and stopped. So they did what they said they were going to do. So now next year they're either going to go back that way to go back into the Benson tract and back up this way to get back up into the Benson tract and across more to the west, or they're going to head on down around this way, I would imagine, to get down the river down through there somewhere. So me, myself, and I think they're going that way. That's always been the trail that's been in the UMP. I think all this hogwash about going back into the Benson tract is just a red herring. It's just an excuse for them to try to stick their nose into what's happening with the land classification for the Benson tract. You know, they want to make everybody think that that's where the trail's going, and boy, we need to make that wilderness back there. Well, it was pretty wild right here for wild forest. It's about as wildernessy as you want, right down through here, and it's always been this way under the wild forest classification. So I don't know why in the world you would need to change it. So I'm going to sign off for now. I'll talk to you later. There's one big friggin' rock right out here in the middle of the woods. And I'm not so sure that any glacier was pushing that around. I got a funny feeling that whatever came through here went around that mamba jamba. Look at the size of that thing. I saw it when I was coming in the other direction, and I was afraid I was going to get close to it. But as it turns out, the trail runs right in front of it here, so that is one big old mamba jamba rock. Plus there's another interesting rock formation down the trail here. I'll show you too when we get there. Here is that other interesting rock formation I promised you that I was back by the big boulder in the woods. There's a big old flat ledge here. It's like Table Rock. Flatter than a pancake on top. Runs all the way up through here. There's one big old mamba jamba rock again. So I think this is another one that the glaciers went over or around. I don't think it moved it. Nice little cave back under this end of it. You had to get in there and get out of the weather. Of course, in the wintertime, you might be sharing it with something else. This rock is just past Mud Lake. I saw it on the way down through to the end of private chicken, and on the way back I said, well, take a picture of it. So that's it. Table Rock. Oh, folks, I'm standing right in the intersection of the new trail and the Tin Can Road. What you're looking at is where the Tin Can Road keeps going on up the side of the mountain here and around that way. And what this is here, this is the new section of trail. It's 1 3/4 miles from the parking area up to this spot right here. And you look out through there, that's Mud Lake. And that's looking down the Tin Can Road. This is the only section here for maybe, I'd say it's less than 1/4 mile where they actually use the tote road here. The rest of this is all virgin trail. They cut it right through the woods. So that's either a good thing or a bad thing. You know, I guess the one thing that they did by leaving not going up the tote road is they left it for the snowmobiler, so we can get this classified as wild forest. The snowmobilers got an old tote road to use for a trail. And the hikers will be going through the woods, so they won't even see each other. Alright guys, I'm gonna head back down the trail here and try. Well folks, this is the first thing I ran into this morning on my way in, and I'm sure happy to see it on the way out. Brand new bridge over the little creek here. So sure beats getting your feet wet right off the bat. So we're damn near back to the car. I think we're back to the end of the road, probably 1/10 of a mile back to the road to the car, so that's where we are here. Talk to you later.